Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are to graph the three basic trigonometric functions in which we are to restrict the domain x in between 0 to 360 degrees, including 0 and 360. Let's look at the table. The first row, we are to put the x values we are to use. So we are to start from 0 degrees and 90 degrees interval for sine and cosine. And I believe you should get these numbers. And now your second row should be a y's. The output, you need a calculator to put the corresponding degrees into the calculator to get you the output. So let me do the first three for you. Remember, this is sine. So sine 0 degrees should give you 0. So in place here, we are to put 0. The next, sine 90 degrees should give you 1. So here should get you a 1. In a similar way, sine 180 degrees should give you 0. And correspondingly, you should get sine 270 degrees as -1 and sine 360 degrees as 0. Now we are to plot the points on the graph. The first, let's look at the x-axis. The first, if you are to look at this intersection between x and y-axis, that is 0 degrees. 90 degrees interval should give you 90, 180, 270, and 360. And now you are to look at the two marks on the y-axis. They should be 1 and -1. Correspondingly, the reason is 1 and -1, they are the respective maximum and minimum value that you could get in this function. So let's plot the coordinates on the graph. Let's start with 0 degrees 0. So at the intersection, 90 degrees 1. So here, 180 degrees 0. So here. In a similar way, you are to plot the rest and join them together. We start from here. And you should get the graph y is equal to sine x. Moving on, we are to look at y is equal to cos x. In a similar way, the first row, you are to put the angles, start from 0 with 90 degrees interval. You should get 90, 180, 270, and 360. The next, you are to get the corresponding y values using the calculator. Let me do the first three for you. Cos 0 degrees should give you 1. So put the corresponding coordinate there. And cos 90 degrees should give you 0. Cos 180 degrees should give you -1. And correspondingly 0 and 1. Now we are to plot the coordinates on the graph. Let's first look at the x-axis. You have the intersection as 0 degrees, 90, 180, 270, and 360 degrees. On the y-axis, I would suggest you to label 1 and -1. They are correspondingly the maximum and minimum y we are getting in cos x. Now we are to plot the 5 coordinates starting from 0 degrees 1, so 0 degrees 1, 90 degrees 0, 180 degrees -1, 270 degrees 0, and 360 degrees 1. We are to connect the coordinates, and you should have your graph y is equal to cos x. Moving on, the last we are to find y is equal to tan x. This time, for the x values we are taking, we are to start from 0 degrees and 45 degrees interval. And I believe you should get all these degrees. And now we are to use the calculator and get the corresponding y's. So tan 0 degrees to give you 0. Tan 45 degrees should give you 1. Tan 90 degrees should give you math error. So that tells us that tan 90 degrees is undefined. So when we are graphing 90 degrees, we will put a vertical asymptote at 90 degrees, indicating the 90 degrees is not defined in this graph. In a similar way, you are to use the calculator and find the rest outputs. So let me just give you is -1, 0, 1, and undefined. -1, 0. We are to first mark the x values on the x-axis, starting from the intersection 0 degrees. And we are to mark the 2 marks on the y-axis as 1 and -1. Let's first draw the 2 vertical asymptotes we have at 90 degrees and 270 degrees, where the y's are undefined. We are to draw a vertical dashed line. And we are to plot the coordinates starting from 0 degrees, 0, 45 degrees, 1, skip 90 degrees, 135 degrees, -1, 180 degrees, 0, 225 degrees, 1, skip 270 degrees, 315 degrees, -1, and 360 degrees, 0. And now we are to draw a discontinuous graph starting from 0 degrees, move up, and remember, you will not cross the vertical asymptote, neither touch that. And you are to start again on the other side of the vertical asymptote. Remember, you are not going to touch, neither cross the vertical asymptote. And you should have it somewhat like this. And approaching it, and move on to the other side of the vertical asymptote. You are to start again at the bottom and move on to 360 degrees. And this is the graph for y is equal to 10x. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.